Legion Dan.
So speaking of TBC, as I said previously, we'll talk about it very briefly. Was Gummies. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with how he wants to do his stuff. It was just the fact I didn't get invited because of who I am. Gummy seems to not know who anyone is. Not feeling entitled. I'm just saying that's just what he said. So I got invited through just luck. I just signed up and I ended up getting it. So I was like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like a really really vague statement on his forum, which was like, we're not allowing streamers, but you can do it and we can't police it. So I thought, that'll do. Well, not allowing, but he was like, we don't encourage it, but we're not going to police it, sort of thing. So that's kind of like saying like it's like declassifying drugs. It's like you know you're still doing it. It's still bad, but you can.
It's frowned upon, but we're not gonna take you to prison for it.
Yeah. It's like drugs. Just do it, but with in a safe environment with good friends or parents.
All in
crisps.
So the server
and for children.
The server was pretty cool. I did stream it. So I did it for, I think I did it. It was really fucking irritating actually, because I streamed it for like 2 hours. And so you can do instant 60 or instant 70. So I did instant 60 because I wanted to try the TBC stuff, which was really good. Don't get me wrong, it was sick. But there was like 27 people online, right? I got stream sniped constantly.
Yeah.
27 people online. I was like, what the fuck? Like, really, really annoying, because he'd done this thing where when you start, you get a spell, you get a spell saying port to Shatraf. So, but it's not like a portal spell like the mage where you cast it and you port. It's like an instant one that you click on yourself, which is fine. So I did that and just played along. Anyway, next thing you know, I'm leveling, and some fucking guy ran up to me, did the spell to me, and teleported me to Shatraf.
What? How was that even possible?
And it happened like 3 times. I was like, what? So in the end, I'd messaged Gummy originally saying like, can I stream it and stuff, and he never wrote back. So I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to play it until they say no. And then I got a nice message from a GM that just said, you know, we appreciate what you're doing, but fuck off.
It was secretly Gummy just trying to get you to stop streaming with all the ganking and the porting.
So just to be clear, you got kicked off.
Not kicked off. I was told not to stream anymore, so I respectfully said, all right, see you later, fuck you. But it's like, I mean, in my opinion, really, just from my point of view, streaming it, like they were like, oh, we don't want to show unfinished content or whatever, but I've clearly stated it's in beta, like constantly. So if I see an issue, I'm just like, beta is beta, you know, they can fix it. And to be honest, for them, they could watch back the stream and be like, that's what's going wrong, that's what's happening there. But
you know, people on the internet, even though you still say it's a beta, it's a test stream, people are still going to be like very, very judgmental about it. That's just,
So in the end, I went on Hellground for a bit on their test realm, and then it was like 4 hours, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah. I did a Slave Fence Heroic on the Hellground real quick, and it was alright. So, haven't got any time yet to check out Gummy's project.
I'll wait till it goes live. I don't like messing around with beta tests. I got burnt from a core craft. I'm never doing it again.
Oh.
Yeah,
that wound still runs deep. So.
I would happily do it again. Like if they allowed it, I'm more than happy to stream it because I fucking love TBC, and I think it was great the content they had. So yeah, but that's that. It's pretty easy to get into. You just got to sign up on their forum, and then you luckily get an invite, which is pretty cool. So really, that is all our list. But as I said previously, we have a jazzy new Discord. Well, it's not new. It's been around for a while.
Jazzy.
Is it jazzy?
It's full of haters.
Hold on. It's jazzy?
It's jazzy.
It's quite jazzy.
There's a lot of diminished fifth in there. Use a joke.
So I did set up a new little thing for Discord questions. So yeah, let's have a look at what we got.
What questions have we got?
It ended up being a load of people just talking to each other.
That's good.
Nice.
So we got one from Jay Walker, who is from Frost. No, he's not. He's from yeah, Northcroft. So he says, why do you never have devs on the podcast? People who actually understand server development give answers to the questions for content creators cannot. Yeah, so that is... We were talking about inviting content people into it.
Yeah, it's on the to-do list, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think we will. We need to do... I'd love to do like stuff like, for example, with Gummy. With someone who's in active development or one of the Northcroft guys or whatever, we could just bring them in. They could tell us about their server. We can ask them, you know, what makes it unique and stuff, what's so great about it and sort of stuff. So they could kind of plug their server. We can find out a bit more about it, and so can everyone else. I think that's probably a good way of doing it. Or maybe even talking to someone huge like maybe Valhalla from Project Ascension, or like Shenna, or someone like that.
Get her on in. Get her on in now.
Or like any of the Crestful guys, or anything like that. I think, yeah, it's definitely something we are wanting to do at some point.
Ashura is up for it, I think.
Who is?
Ashura, the main guy from Crestful.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
The one I did the interview with way back before.
Oh, right.
Things
oh, right, yeah.
Or even Hacks for Harambe.
Yeah.
I think he's in hiding right now. You won't get him.
I think we should try to set up Alex and Shenna. They would be perfect.
It's funny because Alex said he was up for coming on there, and I don't have a problem with bringing Alex in. But we should have just had him here talking, and then just like call her up.
Yeah, Alex, we're gonna set you up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna set you up. We're gonna have a nice chat. You're gonna reconcile, and you're gonna go back to Elysium.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
So we have
We're
a
gonna
question.
let them talk, and I'll sit back with a bag of popcorn.
So we have a question from Evolve. You know that guy that bitched about us?
Oh,
Anyway,
good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This should be fun.
moving on.
Oh god.
So the next question is not from Evolve. Fuck that guy. We've got another question saying, did Elysium do anything wrong? No, actual question, did Elysium didn't do anything wrong? Christ.
Did Elysium didn't do anything wrong?
That's a
Didn't.
double negative?
That's a double negative.
Hang on, what?
So yes.
Elysium is not no criminal, basically. Something like that. Well,
We talked about this basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it depends on if you're one of those guys who follow Reddit and you care about all this, you know, outside the meta community, then sure, yeah. But if you're just a guy who wants to play the game, there's no difference really.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt them really. I don't think it's really going to affect the people. Most of the people playing there don't really give a toss, really, do they? They probably don't even know this podcast exists. They probably don't know who any of us are. They probably never even go to Reddit. They probably never go to their own forums. It doesn't matter to those people.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So we got a question from Super Soaker. Anyone ever heard of him?
No, just some guy.
I
He's
have
that Legion
heard.
guy.
Legion
Isn't
guy,
he
yeah, he
like-
put out a Legion video. Yeah.
He's got
I've
this
heard,
tiny
though, if
little
you combine-
moustache, hasn't he?
That tiny
Yeah.
moustache.
He's got this tiny little moustache and a little wispy little couple of dots on there, I think.
Neck beard.
Well, I've
nation.
heard from a reliable source that if you put all our beards together, we would still not be close to the beard he has.
Yeah. I'm
So,
That's
so
true.
jealous. He's actually only 15, but he's just got a massive beard. So we've got so now that Legacy Gaming Network is essentially dissolved, do you see any other servers trying to create their own version of the Legacy Gaming Network, or is the situation put a damper on servers wanting to work together in the foreseeable future? Great question, but we did kind of cover it.
Yeah, but I think, you know, it's pretty much fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Yeah,
So I think people are really afraid of that now.
Something I did just think of though is talking about Hellground and sharing cores and stuff like that. I forgot to even think that Hellground shared their core like years ago. They were sharing their core for quite a long time. In fact, there was a massive example for that, and it was called L4G.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
L4G was based on the shared core of Hellground.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
There's a
I
nice
didn't know
point
that.
there.
Did you know? I found out today that Vengeance of Azeroth, or VOA, and L4G are working together.
Oh,
Yep, so they're going to do the fusion dance soon.
all right.
It's not a bad idea. I just think, you know, if you make it something really big in this because we have to remember these are just private services, not like huge companies. But it almost, in our little bubble of private service, it seems like that, right? But,
I think none of these mergers make any sort of difference unless everything gets put into some sort of common repository like GitHub. It doesn't matter at all if you've got X server and Z server and they're going to get together and they're going to put their combined code together. Because unless that goes back to everybody else, then it makes no difference, I don't think. Not at all. Because unless, like I say, unless everything they do is then publicly returned, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, then you come onto the subject of, do you think servers should just put all their cores on open source?
Yeah, well,
it would benefit the consumer.
Yeah, it would be a benefit to us, yeah. But then you've got to look at it from a different way of looking at it, because for the consumer, that's a great thing, of course, because we get better servers. But look at it from the other angle now. So you take a server, a paid server, something like WowFreaks, Warmain, something like that. So they're paying their staff to do this work, right? So the money, so people are buying gear on Icecrown, for example. That money gets paid to the staff for their work. Now, why should they give that back for free for other servers to benefit for? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, funnily enough,
people paying Warmain money. Why should Warmain or WowFreaks give essentially that work that they've funded away for free for someone else to use on their own server and for them to make money off? So it's yes, as a consumer, I want all these cores to be open source, but you've also got to look at it from the other way. The people who are being paid to do this work, why should they share it with other people when they're not going to get the return?
It's also, you know, as the whole private service scene, let's say from all the rat listing servers, it is a competitive environment. So obviously, as a developer, you want to have an edge over the others. And if that edge is that you worked X amount of hours to make it better, of course you're not going to be like, no, I'm not going to share it. Are you kidding me? This is what I created. This is my edge over your server. So,
I think in the long run it's going to be a problem as well, because right now, like when you see a new server or just a server in general, you look for pros and cons. You look for the pros, like what's the draw in, like the quality. And if you have, the reason why we have only a handful of servers is that most people don't want to put in the time. If it's all open source, like you and me and your nan can make a server, and you know it's going to be so spread out, and everybody's going to have the same draw, like the pros and cons. So how do you draw people in? And you know, people just want it to be very clear where to go when picking a server. Like it's where's the population really, and you know that's going to be difficult if there's like a new server popping up each day, and the population is just being spread way too thin.
Yeah,
exactly.
In a way, it is. It sounds harsh, but yeah, that is right. It is kind of good for the community, for keeping them together, that there's not a billion different servers. So in a way, that is a good thing. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword.